So a guy that was in charge of the quality for that shift, second shift, we ended up linking up, he was in bar school, talking and doing, cause I wanna know.
I'm getting those names right.
I'll do this, rest of history.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a team player,
Yeah.
but I don't, if it ain't right, I like to do my own.
Yeah.
I don't like my success to be in somebody's hands. There you go. And see, they don't tell you when you in school that that's where all the perks are at. When you're owning your own. They don't teach you that at all. So when I found that out, it was a game changer.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of that tonight too. So like when schools were created, you know, the purpose why they created them?
My opinion is to get you to work in other places, make other people money. Get you to work well with others, get you to learn, the basics.
Yeah.
Be a good team player. Not go work for somebody and make good money.
Yep. Think like an employee. Yep. Tell them what they feed. Tell you when to go lunch.
Yep.
Tell you when your day is over, but program you for 6 to 7 hours. So when you get to adulthood, you're already programmed for 6 to 7 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Devontae, right?
Dante?
Dante, is there, how many more are you expecting? Because I want to stay and just let them in. You guys keep.
Oh, I got the doorbell.
Oh, you got the.
Yeah, I got
I
it.
don't know how many more. Go show up, anybody?
Cool.
Expect at least one.
One more.
One more, yeah, he's expecting one. Alvin, are you expecting anybody?
Think a couple people. We got, a couple more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All these D's and S's.
Alright, yeah, blame mom.
We got 2 M's. We got 2 M's.
Right.
You know, Al.
Get it on purpose.
And Shania, what do you do for work?
I work at Gallagher.
What's that?
It's like a laundry company, but I also have my own businesses. I have my own studio on 20th Street. I do photography, graphic design, and crafts.
Do you? How long you been doing that?
4 years.
Okay. Did you go to school for the graphic design?
I did it in high school, and I was going to KCC, but it's more of my passion.
Okay. I like it. So we got entrepreneurs all in this place. That's sweet. And Deborah, you working? You retired?
I'm retired. I work part-time now, but not really retired. I drive them. So I take seniors to their appointments and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's something to do, I talk with people,
And how long you been driving?
about 5 years.
Nice. And how long you been retired?
About 10.
And what did you retire from? What were you doing?
From Pfizer.
Pfizer, okay.
Yeah.
So did you make it, or were you just like, were you in the lab with the code and all that?
Actually, I was called a chemical coordinator. Some of us sometimes we actually made different chemicals for other companies.
Okay.
And when I retired, we actually made medicine and stuff on a chemical in the bulk form and sent it over to be processed, whatever they need to do with pills or whatever they need to do with it.
Nice. And how many years have you been there?
32 years.
32 years. That's rare. Well, not rare at Michigan.
But nowadays,
Nowadays, it's
yeah.
rare. 14 barbers, 4 years got our own business. I see that.
14 years farmer. Well, Mitch, you can
I'm a seasoned potato
Yeah.
now, you know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to get to that retirement stuff.
We're gonna get like another minute, y'all, when we get started.
Can't forget the military too. I'm retired from that too.
Hey, from Air Force?
Well, I did 8 active and 12 in the Guard.
Okay. Thank you for your service. Is it Veterans Day on Monday?
Whenever.
Friday.
Friday.
Next Friday. Or is it this Friday?
Next
Next Friday.
I know we was getting close. Anybody else serve military?
Nigga yelled at too much for me.
And that's where you program. You talking about being programmed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get programmed here.
I know I ain't fit to
He's
the
a good
bill.
soldier.
I've been doing all kind of push-ups. I'm like, I just tell me what to do, I'll do it. You ain't even gotta yell at me, just wait till I go.
All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get started. If they come, they don't. So thank y'all for coming and making it out tonight. Hello, hello.
Hi.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm Marcus.
Italian.
Italian? Yes. Y'all like that cross? All right, so most of y'all know me as Grammy's grandson. But I also run a business, and I've been doing it for almost 13 years. And so for those who come out tonight, this is going to be the business part of kind of what I do on the insurance side and how I've been helping people. So I appreciate y'all coming through tonight. And I've been working with Dante, getting up and rolling. So I'm explaining y'all the business, kind of what we've been doing, what we've been on, and hopefully y'all like it. But before I got into insurance, like nobody goes to college and says, I want to be the insurance dude. Like that's not really the plan. I got into insurance because my mom passed real suddenly. Have y'all ever heard of a disease called sarcoidosis? And then are you in the medical field?
No, I'm not.
Okay, most people that say yes, I'm in the medical field, so that's how you know. So for my mom, it was attacking her lungs. So for those that don't know, it's a weird autoimmune disease. Your white blood cells can just attack any part of your body, almost like lupus. And so she had to wear oxygen. And it had got so bad where she couldn't walk from the back door to up here without stopping. And she called us on a Wednesday about bruising her leg. And I said, Mom, what happened? Did you fall or hit something? She said, no, I just woke up and it was there. So my wife took her to the hospital. They looked, oh, Miss Richardson, you're good. They sent her home with some pain pills. So that night she said, baby, I'm not feeling good. I'm going to take this medicine right now. So we didn't think anything of it. Saturday, May 22nd, we're getting ready for my daughter's first birthday. Business as usual. About 12 o'clock, my uncle calls me. He said, Marcus, I'm sorry. I said, for what? He said, your mom didn't wake up. 50 years old, no insurance, daughter's first birthday. Yeah. Anybody ever been through that? Where you have to bury somebody behind the scenes? Seen how that works? So it's a small group, so we're going to talk to them tonight, okay? So that when we had it happen, you might be asking who was it?
You mean for,
Pastor.
well, your brother,
Yeah.
we had to come together and bury my mother and my father.
See? And I didn't know, because that was my first time being that close to it. I had been to funerals before, but never behind the scenes. And so when we're there, the lady's like, you know how it works? I said, no, ma'am, I've never had to bury anybody before. She said, well, we've embalmed her so you guys can view her, but nothing else happens until we get some form of payment. So I'm like, all right, well, how much is it? Her cremation is $2,000, her casket is $10,000. And she's like, that doesn't include stuff at the cemetery, that's just what we do here. So I have two babies. My wife and I at that point had been married, 13 years. We had been married about 6-7 years. So I didn't have any money for the cremation. So I asked the lady down there, I said, can I do payment arrangements? She's like, no. And she asked the question, she said, did your mom have any life insurance, any burial policies, anything that would help? I said, no, ma'am. She said, well, until we get some form of payment markers, your mom will stay here with us. I looked, I said, are you serious? She said, yeah. So I put on a credit card at 22% interest to cremate her. So that was May of 2010. So fast forward, I got my license in December, and when I got my license, so my whole purpose in doing life insurance, even being out here, is to help more people not go through what I went through. Like I always feel like somebody's either moving toward their pain, right, or moving away from their pain. And so for me, that's kind of what drives me, because I know for a little bit a month, if you just take care of stuff and plan appropriately, that kind of conversation can be avoided. But because we didn't have those conversations in our circle, I didn't know anything about it. So that was May. I got licensed in December of 2010. And when I got my license, I said, you know what? I just want to help people not go through what I went through. So I work with one company. Now, has anybody ever worked at a place where you like what you do, but you don't like the people you do it with? Anybody ever been in those situations? You might be in one now. Well, you being recorded, so don't say nothing incriminating yourself. So that's where I was. I was working at this place for about 11 months. Me and this lady were working up there together, doing insurance. And it was just toxic. The work environment was real negative. It wasn't like make a sale. We don't care how you make it, just whatever. And so I was frustrated, working 12-hour days, and in 11 months, we only made like $20,000. And that's not good anywhere, but it's really not good in Colorado. You can't live on that with family afford. And my dad, he saw how frustrated I was, and he asked me a question. He said, hey, son, if you could do the same thing you're doing now, work less and make more money, would you be interested? I'm like, yeah. like where do I start over, right? So Dad says, all right, you gotta come take a look at this. They got leads for life insurance, and you already licensed. So I said, all right, I'm gonna do that. So I came to a meeting just like this, on a Thursday night. And I was all excited about these leads. Because how many of you guys have actually done sales before? Anybody else done sales besides me? Okay.
We wasn't long.
But
Quick start and quick end.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. The hardest thing on Mitchell for anybody that sales is who am I going to sell my product to? And so when they showed us these leads, I was like, okay, this is the part I like, because if you do sales, that's the number one question. Who am I going to get to actually buy the insurance? Because most old insurance models are call your friends and family, right? Sell them life insurance, and then when you're done with your friends and family, what do you do? And I think if you get an insurance license, your people should get it from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you get your license, you're going to practice on everybody. You follow me? But once you're done with that, now who do I sell to? And so that's where the leads really intrigued me, because it was no bait and switch. Like the first place I was working at, they were telling people they had leads, but they were giving them free stuff. Miss Lou's laughing, she knows. So they would do like a child safety kit to get you to sign up for your little man, right? And you think they come in and give you a child safety kit to take care of your son, and then they be like, oh, and by the way, we got this life insurance for you. And you're like, I didn't plan to sign up no $100 a month. You're supposed to be giving me something for free. And that was just not sitting well with me. And so when I saw the leads, I was like, they know it's life insurance? And they still put out the form? It's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna kill this. So that was 12 years ago, October of 11, and so that's with the Alliance. So what I'm gonna do tonight is just kind of give you guys a broad overview of how it works and kind of explain it to you. And hopefully you're excited like I was, like Dante was when we saw it, and say, hey, you know what, this might be something I can add to what I'm already doing and supplement my income. So the first question is, what is the Alliance? So if you're taking notes, we're a group of agents all across the country. I'm in Colorado, we're in Michigan, California, Texas, Florida, all over the place, right? And what we do is we sell life insurance. So y'all heard the story about my mom, so that's like our final expense, which is more like a whole life policy. We also sell term, which is kind of how we market that for mortgage protection, which I'll explain once I start showing the leads. And then we also do the index universal life. So my younger people, y'all might see those things on TikTok about be your own bank, infinite banking. Y'all seen that? That's what that is. And so we have those products to show people how to set up a retirement when they take money out that's tax free. I don't want to get too much into the weeds for a minute, but let me ask you: would you want tax-free retirement or would you want a taxable retirement? That's what I'm talking about, right? So that's some of the products that we sell, okay? And then the other thing that we do is we also do Medicare, 65, when you turn 65, it's one of those things you have to get. So we also sell Medicare, and then one of my personal favorites, we also do annuities. So those are, we do fixed and index annuities, so it's really just a simple way, it's a savings account with the insurance company that gains interest. So if you have money in the market was going down, 401ks, 403bs, anything like that, we can keep it safe so you don't lose any of your principal, and you still get the interest when the market goes up. And the cool thing about that, I tell you, Ms. Mitchell, it's free. And you're like, what? I'm like, yeah, they don't cost you nothing. So that's the three products that we sell, okay? Now the opportunity is big because I'm that guy. I don't know if you guys are like me, but has anybody ever done some of the side hustles? Oh, let me make it more specific. Anybody ever come to something to try to sell some lotions or potions before? Anybody ever done one of those? We did one time. We had this little body garment. But I'm saying that to say, my dad's laughing because he's been drug me into all of them. I was just looking for a way to get out the rat race, if that makes sense. And so if it was legal and ethical, I was going to try it. And so when I saw life insurance, I said, babe, I think this is legit because people need it. It's not like we're not selling the lotions, we're not selling the potions, like they're going to die. They just don't know when and they don't know how. And so when we say the opportunity, we're taking those, write this down. So our target demographic, baby boomers, 1946 to 1964. Now the reason we target them, they got all the money, okay? When I say all the money, so there was 78 million people born in that span, but they control $30+ trillion of qualified money. So that's 401ks, CDs, stocks, savings accounts, IRAs, money we know of, okay? Now, keyword that's critical, another note to take down if you're taking notes. The first baby boomer turned 65 January 1, 2011. That's critical for us in financial services because they're turning 65 at the rate of 10,000 a day. So now, when you start getting older, what are some things you think about? This is the class participation part. When you start getting older, what are some things you start thinking about?
Funeral.
Vacation. What else? What'd you say?
I said funeral.
Funeral. Hey, it's real talk. What else?
Money
Anything else?
you leaving behind.
Money you leaving behind, right? And so these are the concerns that they have, but they don't come up to me and Mark say, hey, can you help me with my funeral? It'd be nice if they did, though, you know what I'm saying? But they don't. So what we have done with the alliance is we figured out a way to get in front of the baby boomers and put them with the big insurance companies that we work with. Is that making sense so far? Now, companies we work with, anybody heard of Mutual Omaha? Transamerica? Big thing, San Francisco? What about AIG? So these are some of the big billion-dollar companies we work with. We have about 35 different carriers. Now that's important for us because they have the money. So they're the ones that actually pay us. So you got Mutual Omaha, for example, they've been around since 1935, but they have $35 billion of money, which means after they pay out all their death claims, they're still gonna have $35 billion left. Does that make sense? So they're the ones that got the money. And did y'all know this? In life insurance, every dollar that passes through America, 70 cents of it is life insurance. 70 cents of every dollar that's transacted goes to life insurance. That's where all the money's at, y'all. Right? So these insurance companies are the ones that fund the project. We figured out how to get in front of them. So this is the part on number 3, how we do it. This is the part that really excited me. So like I said, they don't come to us and say, hey, you look like an insurance guy, can you help me? So we have these little things right here. I'm gonna pass it around. But this first one was the one I saw, and it's a mortgage protection. So this right here says Andrew, it talks about his loan. He has a loan for $313,000. So that information is public record. So if you bought a house out here in Battle Creek, if you bought one in Lansing, if you bought one in Detroit, that's public record. But instead of you going to someone's house and saying, hey, I noticed you got a mortgage and you wanted the insurance, what we do is we mail them a letter. And that letter comes straight to the house. If they're interested, they fill out the letter and send it back to us. Now, why this is so critical, though, is because in sales, most salespeople spend the majority of their time trying to find someone to sell to. Here, we got someone to sell to, so you can spend the majority of your time doing what makes you money, which is actually selling and talking about the product. Make sense? Y'all gotta get one of these, if you're not, just keep looking at them and keep talking about it, okay? So that's what the mortgage protection lead is basically saying, hey, we know you have a loan, you have family, and in the event that you die, so it tells you the bullet points right here. So in the event of death, it pays off the mortgage. If you're disabled and you can't work, we have plans that will cover you for disability, so that way you don't lose your house. Because even though you get disabled, the mortgage company's like, I'm sorry, you still owe us your $1,300 or your $12,000 or whatever, $2,000 a month. That doesn't stop the mortgage from being paid, right? So if a person sees this, they read it, like, you know what, I think I want some more information about that. Another big one is terminal illness, or critical illness. So this one's massive because they said the #1 reason people lose their house is not death, it's actually major medical. We just lost my father-in-law last year, he was cancer. You get chemo, you're not working during that, but the mortgage still has to get paid. So a lot of life insurance companies down what they've done is they said, hey, look, if you have a policy for $100,000, you get sick with cancer, we'll let you go into your policy early so you can use the money to help pay bills, keep your head above water, or there's experimental drug, but you don't have $50,000 laying around. Now you can take it off your life insurance. So Andrew reads this and says, you know what, I think I want some more information about that. Why that's critical for us, we only get a 1 to 2% response, so not a whole lot, but we mail out about 1 million pieces a week from our corporate office in North Carolina. So we send this, he sees it, but that 1 to 2%, so that means if we line up 100 folks, only 1 or 2 are going to say, yes, I want to talk to you about life insurance. But those are the ones that we get back. So by this lead, it's someone that's actually said, hey, I need some more information about how to protect my family. Is that everybody tracking me so far? All right, so that's the mortgage protection. I can just pass that around with them. Now, everything was going good. I know I got a younger crowd in here too, but everybody remember what happened in 08, 07, mortgage protection? Y'all remember how the mortgage market crashed? So guess what happened? Because that's where we started, right? When Andy started the company back in 2002 was mortgage protection. But if banks ain't giving no money for mortgages, you can't get no mortgage protection anymore, right? So he figured out a way to diversify the mortgage business and said, hey, you know what? Because we don't have mortgage protection, how do we still get in front of those baby boomers? And then we created another type of lead. Excuse me, I'm going to get a sip of water real quick, y'all. All right, now this one right here is our final expense lead. So remember we said we're targeting baby boomers? So this is like people like in my mom's case, need insurance to cover for the burial. Hey, I don't know when I'm going to go, I just know I'm going to go. So what this one says, this is Colorado, but in your state, it would say Michigan, so just follow me. So, new 2024 benefit information for Colorado residents. As a resident of Colorado, you're entitled to more benefits not provided by government funds. You now have access to the new 2024 state-regulated life insurance programs, which pay for 100% of the final expenses up to $35,000. Return this postage paid in 5 days to request the new benefit information. So, does anybody see anything free in there? Did you hear anything free? Right? There's no free trips, no free toasters. Right? You used to call this, broke man's vacation, timeshare. You know you ain't buying that, you know what I'm saying? But you don't go let them talk to you for 3 hours, get your little $100 coupon. I know, because you know what I'm saying. No, they got you, Michigan. They got you. I do travel. But it was nothing like that. It was just straight up, they know it's life insurance. If you're interested, fill it out. So that was the part that really intrigued me, because remember where I came from was the bait switch. Here, mortgage protection, the guy pays off the house, final expenses, if you need burial insurance, we got you. So she filled it out with her name, address, phone number on it. So if they fill it out, at some point they're interested, correct? Would you agree? And then they do a crazy thing. They even put it back in the envelope and lift that thing. I don't do that. I read there was a book one time called Read and Grow Rich, and it says you lose like 17 hours of your life just opening up mail. I don't know mail anyway, Dante, but when I read that, I was like, see, babe, this is why I don't do that. But the cool thing is, though, you're not looking for people like me who don't read things in the end. You're looking for the Andrews of the world, the Annas of the world who read it, you know what, I think I want some more information about it. And then we just call them up, set up an appointment, help them fill out the paperwork, show them the plans, they pick one that fits the budget, and then we send it to the carriers and we get paid. So, any questions on that so far? Making sense? All right. So, some of the other parts of how we do, we have a system in place. So I know a lot of people didn't raise their hand on sales, and Mitchell said he tapped out for himself. So part of our system when we do sales, right, it's important to track the data. So this right here is what we call an activity book. And this right here is really just kind of going through what it looks like to put in the numbers. So one page we've got goals and stuff like that, but this is an example. So what we'll do, Shania, right? Shania, I'm gonna get it right, I promise you. So Shania, what we do is we go in and we say, okay, if I'm making my calls on Monday, I just track that. And then how many people pick up the phone and how many of those do we convert into an appointment. Because when you're doing sales, if you track your data, so let's say, every person I talk to, I set up half of them as an appointment. And then every person I sit with, half of those turn into a sale. So if you need to make 2 sales this week, guess what? You gotta get at least 5 appointments because about half of those turn into a sale. You follow me? But if you don't track your data, it's hard to say, hey, I think I'm doing good. It's like, bro, you only make 2 calls, calm down. And then we have right here, so I know a lot of you guys do a good job, so we got part-time. But if you have your other stuff going on, you can set up your schedule and say, hey, Marcus, this is the day that I can work and do the sales part, and you can put it right here in the calendar, and that's what this is right here, our activity book. And here it's got goals, goals, and stuff like that. But right here is the copy of this, so y'all can pass that around, take a look at that, and then the bottom half is recruit this right there.
So what we say, this is coming from the leads that you provide, they provide, so you provide, right?
Correct. Yep. So you're tracking your data off the leads that you just got in and keeping inventory of what you're doing. And then the bottom half is the recruiting, which is building the business, and I'll talk about that in just a second. All right. Any other questions before we get to the next part? Okay. Now we got this right here. So about 3% of people in America make over 100 grand a year. Okay. So when Andy wrote this book, this is the 8 steps. This is the first book he wrote. He says if you do this 8 steps that are in this book, this will guarantee you a 6-figure income. Now, when a person puts a guarantee on, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, come on. But I've been doing it for the last 12 years, and it's getting real good. You follow me? I don't want to brag. But if you follow the 8 steps, it works, I promise you. So some of our 8 steps is real simple. So step number 1 is personal use. So if you're going to sell life insurance, you should probably own the product that you sell. Would you agree? So we have different carriers, foresters, all the ones I was telling you about. But it doesn't have to be a big policy, but get one on yourself. So someone says, well, who do you use? Even if you have another policy with MetLife or something like that, we don't sell MetLife. So you can't say, oh, I have MetLife, well, why don't we get them? You don't sell them, bro. Does this make sense? Another one, our step number 2, we call it the 4-letter word. Some people don't like it. I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to charge my money crazy price. Step number 2, I'm happy to say it nice and loud for everybody. Step number 2, what's that one?
That's word.
Woo! Did y'all hear that? That's that 4-letter word. That's work. So y'all pass that around. These steps are really just to show you how to bring in income, help people, and be consistent in what you do. So we believe in these 8 steps. One of the steps is read. So reading, attending all meetings, stuff like this. So these are important keys that will help you be successful. So y'all can pass that one around too. We have Inside the Circle of You. I love all these books, but this one is near and dear to my heart. We got election time coming up. I'm not going to step on that. I'm not even going to go there. But you can't control it. You follow what I'm saying? So Inside the Circle of You is really, Andy said, here's how I think. And we can control only things that we can control. So what I want people to focus on is the stuff that we can control. I can't control what's going on in the White House. I can't control what's going on in your house. I can just control, sometimes I can't control what's going on in my house. But I can control what I do and what I think. So that's what this one is. Really, this one is more like, they're all good mindset books, but this one is like really like in depth. Here's how you do mindset. Here's what you should be focused on, and here's what I focus on. And then this one, all right, this is how you take this to the top. So that one will show you how to make 6 figures a year. Y'all can pass that one around too. But this one right here is a millionaire maker man. Millionaire maker man. Now I'm gonna ask this question. It sounds like a stupid question when I ask it, but I'm serious about it. Have you ever thought about being rich? But you'd be surprised. Some people like, I've asked you that, I tell you, 12 years ago, this, and like, nah, not really. I just want to be comfortable. Yeah, right?
What's your definition?
That's what that is. You with me? And so this one will get you 6 figures a year. This one will get you 6 figures a month. So when Andy started this business in 2002, it was in his basement. Now it's 150 plus employees. He's got 15,000 square foot office. He's got 2 jets, Lamborghini, Ferrari. If you like all that stuff, llamas. You're in the llamas. If you like guns, he got a bunch of those too. But this right here, he said, I can't teach everybody how I built it, Marcus, because I can't spend that kind of time with people. But if you want to be mentored by Andy, who's the president of our company, that's this book right here. So this book teaches you how to set up a room. It teaches you the temperature should be in a room, how to call referrals, how to recruit people, how to put your list together, when you build a network. So if you really want to take it to the top, that's this one right here. And in here, it has the 8 steps of success. So this was like, how do you build a factory? If you're trying to build something without the rat race, this is the factory book right here. Okay.
I have another suggestion. Robert Kosowski, Cash Flow Quadrant.
Yeah, I was playing that the other day with my wife.
Yeah, that's
Have you read it?
I think it's better than Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, it tells you the difference between, you know, corporate and having a
We'll talk about some of that tonight.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that? She said one of the books she recommends is Rich Dad Poor Dad. No, Cash Flow Quadrant. Now here's what's crazy. Anybody got that 8 steps book? If you're still passing around, there's a section there, chapter 4, which says read. I bet if you turn to chapter 4, you'll find Robert Kiyosaki's books recommended to read in there. So they want to teach you how to do it. Alright, so that's kind of our system. And then if you've never sold before, we kind of like that because you don't have any bad habits. But we teach you kind of how to do it. So we have a whole thing called NAA University, where you can go on to university. It teaches you our phone script, the in-home presentation. It teaches you the products, right? Like, okay, let's say I booked an appointment. What do I sell, Marcus? Or let's say she's got diabetes, right? Because some people have sugar. They got the health issues, right? So if they have diabetes or if they have high blood pressure, what product do I sell them? So we got all that right in our university. So you don't have to call me at 10 o'clock your time, 8 o'clock my time, and say, hey, I got this lady I'm meeting tomorrow. She's 48. She's got diabetes. What should I sell her? They'll show you right there in the university what product you can sell. Yeah. All right, now this is what everybody came for. So we get to this part. Y'all ready? On how we make money. So we got the system set up. We got the leads. But now I'm going to show you how we print money. Anybody want to know how to print money? Like the legal way?
Talk to
So here is how we print the money. So you got the lead, right? They fill in the form. We have these big $1 billion insurance companies. So we're going to use RichGroup Omaha for short call. Okay? So they send us the lead. They send that back to us. They got the house. Now, y'all don't laugh at my drawing. I wasn't an artist. Y'all don't laugh at my drawing, okay? They send back the form to us, which is the lead. Okay? And then we come in here. This is us. We go to the house, help them out. Okay? We get them covered. We send their request for coverage to RichGroup Omaha. Everybody follow my little pictures real quick? So you got the client that sends the form to us. We call them up, help them out, and then we send their request for coverage off to RichGroup Omaha. The average sale, and some are higher, some are lower. If you're taking notes, this is what you want right there, okay? Our average sale is about $85 a month.
Thank you.
Average. Some are higher, some are lower, but on average. Depends on age, depends on health, because it's life insurance, but on average, okay? Now, the insurance company, when we start out, the contracts start out at 55%, and they go all the way up to 140%. So every time a sale is made, the insurance company is paying 140%. I mentioned, you look like me, I'm like, how do I get that 140? Calm down, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. But they pay out 55%. So at first, when I heard this, I thought it was 55% of $85, and I was not excited. Don't need y'all. It's not $85. So what they do, they take this times 12, so it's for the year, okay? I know it's 1,020 for my mathematicians, but I'm a rural public school kid from Colorado, so for easy math, I'm just gonna call it $1,000, okay? So you get a check for $85, the insurance company looks at that like it's $1,000. They pay us starting out 55% of 1,000. Yeah, so I'm gonna run that back just in case you missed it.
That's just on one policy.
On one policy. You go get a check for $85 from Mr. Richardson. You send his request for coverage off to the insurance company. The insurance company says yes. They pay you 55%. You make about $500. I know it's $550. I get that. But let me say it one more time. $85. They say yes. You get paid $500. I said, hey, y'all wrong from that's illegal. I said, y'all sure this is legit? They're like, yeah, you gotta have an insurance license and $1 billion companies, you're good. But this is what I was telling some of my friends. I said, hey, y'all, this is a legal hustle. Y'all hear this? You get one check for $85 and the insurance company's gonna pay you $500. That don't even sound right. But it's right. Come on. So that's the sales side, okay? And that's, we're going to talk about it a little bit more tonight, but she had mentioned cash flow quadrant. Have you guys ever read Robert Kiyosaki's book? Are you familiar with the cash flow quadrant? Okay, so, Dad, I'm going to show you this real quick because I want it's going to make more sense later as we talk. But this is the cash flow quadrant. You have E right here, SE, BO, not for body odor, and then the I. So, employee is where most Americans are. Work a job and trade time for money, okay? Most. 90% of the world is over here, okay? SE is self-employed. SE is self-employed. So you can set your own schedule self-employed. That's what I was just showing you. You go pick up a check for $85 a month, you get paid $500 a month. Right here, you own a job, but it's your own, you're your own boss, right? But still, if you don't sell the $85 a month, guess what? You don't make the $500. Y'all follow that so far? So what we really want to do is get over here where the wealthier playing the game at. So from self-employed, we go over here to business owner. So the business owner right here is you're buying a system, which I just explained to you earlier. Make sense? You get an insurance license, you show other people how to sell, we have a system in place. So if you are in the system, here's how the system works. Let's say that same person, you show how to sell a policy, so I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm here helping Dante, selling, he's doing his business, he's building a team, okay? The insurance company, remember they pay us a percentage, right? They're going to pay us a percentage in the spread of our contracts. So the way we get promoted, has everybody ever worked at a place where you like, I know I outwork her and she making the same amount as me, anybody else? Like, I don't like that program. Not here. If you outwork the person that hired you, you can actually make more money than the person that hired you. So people are like, I don't like the MLM. I'm like, bro, it's not an MLM. In an MLM, you can't outwork the person, you can't out-earn the person that hired you. Here, if you get after it, you can make more money than the person that hired you. So right here, you're self-employed, but now we're a business owner. So Dante goes out and helps that person. He's still gonna get the $500 in this example, right? But because I showed Dante how to do it, let's keep it super simple. Let's say I have a 10% spread in the business owner part, right? So every time Dante makes $500, because I showed Dante how to do it, they're paying me $100. Does that make sense? Sharp right here. So the question is, how many people can I show how to do what I do, so that way we get this coming in more and more and more? And so let's say he does 10,000. You follow that? At a 10% spread, the passive income now is $1,000. That's how you start playing over here. And then you have a company, which we call integrity marketing, it's created as I for investor. But once you build a business, there's a company that Andy actually sold his company 3 years ago in June of 2020. And you can build it, and they say, hey, I like what you have built. I want to make you an offer where they're going to buy your passive income. So now you built something that they like, and they say, hey, you know what? Let's say you get your passive income up to $83,000 a month, which is $1 million a year. They say, I like what you built. I'm going to make you an offer. It's typically 10 times your fancy word EBITDA. It just means your net worth. And then they give you some stock. And that's when you start playing with the big boys. Because they say, hey, every year we're going to take this and we're going to cash out every 36 months. So if your stock, so when Andy sold his company, listen to this, y'all, the stock was at $2 a share for integrity marketing. Right now, the last time we had a conversation, the stock price is at $12 a share. And he didn't disclose how many shares he has. You follow me? And they haven't went public yet. Now's the time to get in and get to work. Does that make sense? So you have the business model, you have the system, and you have the setup, and they pay us every time we make a sale. They pay us for Medicare sales, they pay us for annuities, and I like this, I'm going to explain this to you real quick. So the annuity, I just sold one last week for $90,000. Okay? And I'm going to keep it, again, really simple. But on average, an annuity pays anywhere from 4 to 5%. Somebody got a calculator? My calculator people, down, can you help me? Somebody got a calculator? Yeah. So take the 90,000, do that times 5%.
4,500.
Say it again.
4,500.
On one sale, that didn't cost my client anything. We're just taking her retirement funds, putting it somewhere safe, and they're paying us 5% to be able to do that. It doesn't even sound legal, does it? You follow me? But the insurance companies know what they're doing. They ain't going out of business. They've been around for a while. And that's why I love helping people. Not because they pay us very well, but because we're protecting them. She doesn't ever have to wake up tomorrow and wonder, am I going to lose money in the market? Like, that's off the table for her. And she also bought what we call IUL, that tax retirement. This is getting crazy, y'all. You ready? She's funding that at $1,000 a month. So she's putting in $1,000 a month. Do me a favor, do that times 12. 12,000 for the year. And then that would take the 12,000 per year. And let's keep it simple. Let's say we're getting paid 85% on that.
10,200.
You follow what I'm saying? This is what we have. And it's really just helping families. And if you like helping people, this is something you should probably consider. You can do it part-time, you can do it full-time, or you can get crazy, do it all-time like me. But I like it because I love helping people. I like being my own boss. I like that when I gotta go watch my daughter dance, I don't have to ask somebody, hey, can I go watch my daughter dance? Hey, I gotta take a week off to go to Florida to watch my thing. I don't have to ask somebody. No.
Okay, since you said we have a vehicle.
Yep.
If they take that 90,000, we put it, are they actually, they taking out somewhere they're making money, are they actually gonna make money off that 90,000, or we just saving it in a safe spot for?
No, they make money.
They make money.
So this is right here, that's a great question. And I don't want to get too into the products, this is a product question. But typically, this one is an F&G product. Her interest on that product, it will cap out at about 12%. So if the market goes up 15%, she'll get 12. If the market goes down 15%, she doesn't get anything. Right. So it's a win-win for everybody. Yep. And then we have quarterly events. So our next big event is in January. And at these events, they can train, they teach you how to sell the product, how to build the business, and the real thing is association. So you know how sometimes you come to church and you feel better? Oh, man, this is me. Sometimes I'm having a rough week. I show up on Sunday and I feel better when I leave because I'm in a good energy, I'm in a good environment. That's how our quarterly events are. Our next big one that you have a chance to come to is in January. The website is theallianceevents.com. It's events with the S and it's alliance. It's 2 E's at theallianceevents.com. It's in Dallas, Texas. The ticket prices, and this is not a sale, I promise you, but it's $299 now. If you do want to come to Dallas, it's going up tomorrow in price. And it'll probably be about $349. But I promise you it's worth it. That was one thing that I learned being in insurance and in this space. You'll never out-earn your self-image. What does that mean, Marcus? Glad you asked. If you're used to making $50,000 a year, and I show you numbers like this, you're like, there's no way, bro. Because you just don't see it. So in order to increase your self-image, there's 3 things you can do, okay? Work. Because when you start working like crazy, you think you deserve more money. Can I get an amen? They need to pay a brother, right? They need to pay us since I'm working 60 hours a week. Come on now. Right? You also can increase your self-image by getting around people that have a higher self-image than you. Remember when they went into the land? What they said? They said, we look like grasshoppers in their sight. So they saw themselves as grasshoppers, and then the giants saw them as grasshoppers. But they were really God's children. How do you see yourself? You got to get around some people that challenge you. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I intentionally put myself around people who make more money than me because I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And then the third way you do it is by reading books. So those little books I pass around, you can get your copy. I believe something, Dante. But those books help you grow and help you change the way you see yourself, because until you see yourself like an eagle, you're going to keep running around like pigeons. Make sense? To do that, January, I highly encourage you, if you like what you heard tonight, and you like anything that you're hearing, I highly encourage you to get a ticket and come to Dallas. It's going to be well worth it. We'll be doing training. And here's what got me, Dante. They have a Sunday non-denominational worship service in a business event. When I went to my first one, I was like, for real? Because you don't do business and God, right? Like they normally don't mix. And so when I saw this Sunday service, I was like, I like it. You listen to what they're talking about. There's no foolishness, right? And so it's really cool because it's helping people. And one of the things Andy told me, and he's not perfect by any means, but he's a great mentor of mine. He said, Marcus, I would be doing people a disservice if I teach them how to make millions and I didn't care about their soul. So yeah, we got a Sunday non-denominational worship service. That's yours truly, we preaching Sunday for 1,000 people. And it's nothing but God. And then we have, anybody want to travel? Would you travel more if it was free? Right? So then the last thing we got, y'all, we got this all-expense matrix. So this year's probably going to be hard, but I'm not going to lie to you because it's November 1st. But December 31st, if you sell a certain amount of premium, so this is the annual premium number, if you do 250,000, so about 250, 260 cases in a year, you qualify for the all-expense matrix. So you can get started now, and I can show you how to run it up in 24, so you can qualify for the 25 trip. Where we going to 25? I don't know. But where we going this year coming up, we got an all-expense paid cruise to Alaska. Yeah. This will be our 10th one, my wife and I. It's crazy. I'm like, this little boy from Aurora, I'm going to be in Alaska. I don't even like the cold. I got long johns on right now. I don't even like the cold. But if you're paying for it, I'm going. And so we show you how to work and how to get after it. I'm not going to lie to you, it's hard work. But it's not hard work. Like I came in, saw Dal and Dante, pushing the back end, and I commend you for it. That's hard work. For me, hard work is making 300 phone calls a week. You know what I'm saying? getting talked about a bunch, people like hanging up on you, and you know what's crazy? That wasn't me. It's like, is this Andrew, my brother? You know, I'm just gonna call you to talk with you. Right? So you'll get the objections, you'll get people telling you no, but what we do is we teach you how to control the emotions. We teach you how to overcome that. And if you help enough people, you get paid very well to do it. And at the end of the year, we send you on an all-expense-paid trip. In April, we were in Ireland. I didn't even know where Ireland was. I had to look it up. I'm not kidding. We've been to some place like, oh, okay, cool. That's where it's at. But we want.
How many places have you been, Marcus?
Ooh, we've been on 10. This will be our 10th all-expense-paid trip. We've been to Corfu, Mykonos, Santorini, Greece, Italy, Paris, Switzerland. And it's just by helping families.
All free?
All free. And they when I say free, I mean my first trip, right? Now, for those who don't know the story, when I first found Andy, I was on food stamps and state assistance. Like, it was bad financially. And they called us and they said, hey, you know, you won the trip for the Bahamas. We want to know if you want to come Friday or you can come Saturday when the boat leaves. And I asked the Metro, I said, well, if I come Friday, who pays for it? They said, Marcus, all expenses paid. I said, I'll see you Friday. I just want to get that out the way. That's what I was paying for, right? But they pay for your bags, they pay for the hotels. I showed my dad the one we were in Ireland, probably the most beautiful hotel I've seen in my life. And it was like laid out, it was dead. But that comes with the territory. So those are just some of the perks of being your own boss. Building a team, building a network. We have a system in place that'll show you how to get out the rat race. So if you're interested in getting out the rat race, that's what we're offering. I'm not gonna lie to you, it does take work. I'm not gonna tell you that it's simple. What I will tell you is, I'm not gonna tell you that it's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Because easy implies no effort. Simple means, hey, it's duplicatable. I can show you people making $100,000 a month. I can show you people making $100,000 a year. I can show you people making $400,000 or $500,000 a year. So that means we have a system in place. The question is, I just don't know what God put in you. Are you willing to pick up the phone? Are you willing to talk to people and say, hey, we've got an opportunity? Because if you do, I can show you how to build it and show you what we've been doing for the last 12 years. So, with that being said, a couple of things. You do got to have an insurance license. Remember that part I talked about not being legal? You got to have an insurance license. So the class itself is $49, so $50 to get signed up for class. And we don't make any money off that. That's the state of Michigan. Like, in order for you to legally sell a semi-barber, you gotta have your license to be legit. Class is $49.99. We got a coupon code, show you how to get set up. And the cool part, I don't think you'll do this. If you are interested in the business part, if you get 3 people in class with you, they give you the $49 back. Not bad, right? Because you gotta do it in 30 days. You gotta do it in 30 days. But those who are with God, you can do it now. And then from there, you take the test. And then Michigan, how much is it today? Scale 41. Colorado's 48. So that's $41. So you got 49. So call it 50. 41. So you got $91. And then once you pass the test, they do a background check. So the background check is like, what you do a background check for, bro? You get people's socials, you get people's bank account. Like, we gotta make sure you're legit. Run over people's houses, you got some issues, right? So you got to do your background check. I know in Colorado it's $68. So in total, I tell people about $170 to get your insurance license. You normally make that back in your first sale once you help out families. But if you like what we're doing, we want to encourage you to get with me, get with Dante. We'll show you how to get set up for class, show you how to get started so you can start helping families. And really, it's you know, it's incredible. It's what I've been doing. It's what I came out here to share with y'all tonight. So I'm glad y'all showed up. After that, I'll pause for some more questions. Anybody got any questions specifically about what you saw, leads, books, anything specific? Oh, y'all want to do a mic drop? No questions? No questions? Okay. All right, so check it out. What we're going to do is take a 10-minute break in case you got to use the restroom or stretch your legs or whatever. And then we're going to come back and do some more advanced training. And so people are like, what is that? So tonight, I'm really going to get Dante started. I'm going to talk. Yes, Dad.
I got a question for him.
Yes, sir.
What was your highest earning in a year?
$364,000.
In a year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how many people do you have in your team right now?
18 got a paycheck. Well, we just hit on October, so 12 last month, but the month before that was 18 people selling. It's a good question. Yeah.
And who mentors you, other than me, obviously, but who else mentors you in your insurance business that helps you to be successful?
So Andy Albright, he's the president CEO, he's the guy in front of the book. He started the company back in 2002. We talk probably 2-3 times a week. And the cool part about it is he didn't have to talk to me. I tell people this all the time, like, he's cool, he said, even before he sold his company. And for him to stretch back down and help someone like me is really a blessing to me. It reminds me of that story. You guys know the story of David and Mephibosheth? Oh, let's go here. So David had made a promise to Jonathan. And he said, you gotta take care of my house. Jonathan passed away in battle, but in the process of him passing away, the people came, and Mephibosheth was Jonathan's son. That Mephibosheth was actually leaving the house, and the maid had got him, but when they got him, he fell and he broke his legs. So he was disabled. He couldn't take care of himself. But Jonathan remembered a promise David remembered a promise that he made to Jonathan, and when David became king, his question was, he says, is there anybody in the house of Saul that I can show kindness to because of the promise I made to Jonathan? And they said, there is one named Mephibosheth, and he's in Lodabar. And David said, you know what, go get him and bring him to the king's table. And Mephibosheth, this is the self-image thing he said, why would the king help a lowly dog like me? So he saw himself, even though, remind you, he's a king's kid. Oh, I feel like a preacher coming on now. He's a king's kid. We're a king's kid, right? We're the king's kids. But if you don't see yourself like a king, you don't operate like a king. So David said, come here, put him at the king's table, took care of everything for Mephibosheth, and showed him how to do what he was doing and being a blessing to Mephibosheth. So oftentimes, that's why I'm so grateful for Andy, because that's what he did for me. He didn't have to reach down and show me how to do what he's doing. But he's taken time to speak to me. I probably call him tonight and talk crazy to y'all for a little bit. But that's what he does. And so when you say who's mentoring me, I honestly believe if you're going to be successful, you need someone else to teach you what they know so you can shorten the learning curve. And he's been true to that for the last 12 years of my life. He really has made a huge impact in every area of my life. It's not just business, but marriage, everything. So thank you, Dad, for asking that question. But that's who mentors me personally. Yes, Dad.
One more. What was the best or the highest annuity that you helped somebody with?
This year in March, his name was Paul Barnwell. My man had 1.2 million. I helped his sister the year previous, and he didn't want to talk to me. He had his arms crossed. He was like, I'm good. I got millions. I'm good. By the time I had got to him, his 2 million went to 1.2 million. He was tired of hurting. In March, I showed up. He had an account that had 700,000 in it. At the beginning of the year, it was 900,000. So in 2 months, he lost $200,000. We helped him roll it over. They rolled that 1.2 million and they put it into the annuity for him. So it's money safe now. He's going to still be getting interest. And that one paid us like 72 racks. $72,000. Yeah, it's ridiculous what we do. But I love it. So, yeah. The annuities, we can find those.
I have a question. So the clients that with the annuities, are they able to like withdraw money or borrow money from the money that they're making off of?
Yes, it depends on the age and the time frame, because each one of them are different. But if they're under, so Uncle Sam's gonna get you to try to do it before 59 and a half. So if they're over 59 and a half, they can without Uncle Sam penalizing you. And a lot of them will let you take up to 10% with no penalties and things like that. And if you take more than the 10%, depending on how long the annuity is for, it depends on what percentage you have to pay as like a penalty, but it's a small fee. Yeah.
So do they pay that money back, or is it just their money?
It's their money. So if they do it to where they're at 59 and a half, they don't have to pay it back because it's their money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do they make interest off that money being in there as well?
They do.
Okay.
Yep. So it's a savings account with an insurance company that gains interest. That's the easiest way to explain annuity.
Okay.
Yep. Good question.
And is the principal always safe?
Always safe. Always I say. And the best part about annuities is like if you have money in the bank right now, so let's say you have $50,000 in the bank, and you went to the bank and said, hey, I need my $50,000 tomorrow, you're not getting it tomorrow. Biggest reason is because they lend your money out. And they gotta have it come in, it has to clear different channels and things like that. With life insurance companies, every penny that you put in there, they have to have that in cash reserves. Banks only have to have 10 cents on the dollar in cash reserves. So if you have a life insurance policy for $1 million and you die, they have to have the money available to pay you $1 million. Same thing with annuities, because it's with the life insurance company for the annuity. So if a person has this annuity, they die, they have to have that money in cash reserves, so it's safer than having your money in the bank. Not to mention, y'all know what kind of interest banks we have, right? Yeah, so. Great questions. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. We'll do 10 minutes real quick, and then we'll come back and do some more talking.
There's a sign-in sheet that's going around someplace, so if you have not had an opportunity to put your name and your number, please do so.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna do a picture because go there. You gotta get a certain score pass to be able to leave. So I can't get That's how I know what
Hey, y'all do me a favor, y'all take a picture real quick. Y'all look this way at my pops. Look this way at my pops. We'll take a picture real quick.
Oh yeah, Miss Nan told me that you.
Do a panoramic?
And then we're gonna do another one up here, us looking this way.
Oh.
Different angles, I don't have to look up close.
Okay, 1, 2, Jesus.
Jesus.
Good. Oh, I have to do this. Do it again.
And the young folks take
It's your phone. I just hit the button and video started.
Young folks take the picture.
1, 2, 3. Jesus. Hallelujah.
Is there anyone that has not had an opportunity to sign?
It's a 2-part test. Yeah, it's a property exam. I don't know. That's when you start getting my hands sweaty, man. And then, like, I was telling Mark, he called me. You know, we were trying to not really mistakes. Problem with this test, they just give you a pass or fail. They tell you what categories, but they tell you what questions you got wrong or right. So now, I gotta go back to the drawing board and try to figure it out. I got the next test tomorrow. I'm about to pass. I took one yesterday. Yeah, it's one of those for me.
Now, and you get information to the class.
Yeah. So I took the class, I took the course. I still got the course too. Marcus, I don't know if you knew that. I still got access to the course. Yeah, so I'll be on the course is up to you. Everything's self-paced. So what is it, 14, 13, 12 chapters maybe? 12 or 13? 12 or 13 chapters. You take that, you take the bottom exam, you pass that, and then once you get that course completion, then and then that's when they
So you take a test on there, pass that, then you go for the second.
yeah, so that's kind of like a pre-test. I'm good. I had my course completion.
Yeah.
These are all the books that you showed.
That's cool right here, right? Take that, get that done, and then take the stage. Now, just get it clean. Ain't gonna let you put water in there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going for none of that.
And where you gonna take that?
So you can take it online or nearest to here is Grand Rapids or Lansing. Yeah, so I'm driving here. I'm all in my head.
Yeah, oh, that's how I go.
I'm all in my head.
That's how I was when I took my state board from Harvard. I got done was so fast that they asked you, you done? I'm like, are you done? Yes. Are you sure you done? Yeah, they asked you again, they be like, did you check everything to make sure you was done? I'm like, I'm done, but y'all started scaring me also.
Right.
And I had got a, before I took the test, I went to McDonald's, brought me some chicken, mystery sandwich. I couldn't take, I took one bite out of it. I couldn't, I stuck my soul.
Yeah.
Everybody like, call me. Yeah, when he passed, I'm not calling nobody. I was nervous, but I knew everything. And we were prepared for it, but I don't like taking tests. He's a hate taking.
I've never been a great tester. Even in school, I would, because I did so well, my test, as long as my test wasn't weighted, I was good.
Yeah.
The weighted test, that's when my grades started to go.
Yeah, I was the same way. Before the test come, I know everything. After I sign my name on that paper, it's like everything go blank.
See, this test, I look at the question, I'm like, this is right. And this is right. Which one is right? Now you're playing this game. But then, they only said, did you create that?
Yes, they launch in November.
But now you
I'm an illustrator, 18.
see visions, writers, that go on them all. So now I'm all in my head. I'm like, I've seen all of these at some point.
Yeah.
Which one go with what?
Yeah, that's kind of like, I tried to take real estate class. I was going up in there, they told us, most people fail twice. Yeah, before they ever get it. I'm like, man, y'all, I ain't got time to fail. So, I got to the end of that test of that class, and I'm like, and they messed around and told me what I was trying to do. I didn't even need a real estate license. So I'm like, I'm out of here, you know what I mean? I was like, I forgot how long I was going there, but yeah, I'll never be good at that testing. I get stuck on stage.
Man,
But if you put it in front of me, I'm hands up.
I'm good. He was just talking, and I'm like, oh, he talking about the accelerated death benefit. But see, but when they word it a certain way on the test, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why you word it like that?
Right. Why did you say it like this?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I got 68 twice.
You right there.
I'm 4 questions away.
Yeah.
4 more writing considerations. Because it's a 72 to pass. 71, yeah, you go okay. 72. So I got
You said 120 questions?
But yeah, it's like, I think it's 110. It might be 106, but it's 120 minutes. Yeah, because it's time. So I don't know if that'd be messing with me too. I don't take the 2 hours to take.
Okay. You got up to the 2 hours. Okay. I'm about to say, well, I can't concentrate that long.
You hear no noise.
Yeah, see, obviously.
No.
I ain't gonna lie, that's what I did on the ACT. Yeah, man, I was knocked out over there. They said, you got about an hour left. I'm like, what? I try to hurry it up.
I think so.
Wow, I like getting quiet, but that's what I like. I know I ain't for like having meetings and I be like, I'm rolling up. I gotta be moved. Put me to work.
So what they do is they do categories. They say it on the test. They don't say it.
Stress me.
These questions.
What's this
They
class?
take it out, and then you gotta.
I have it ready
I did
tomorrow.
terrible in insurance regulation. So now I'm going to go back to the course, all insurance regulation.
So how long would that course take you to just hurry?
I do tonight. Because I already passed the full class, so now I just go back for resources.
I think you gotta pay every time you take the test.
$41 better. Next thing you know, I didn't spend $400.
And I'm in the negative, Mark. Okay. Now, Mark, was you big in the sales before that though?
Yes.
Yeah. Sales, I hate sales. Listen, when I first got started, out of high school, they catch the high school students for selling stuff. Ours was knives, Cutco knives. And I tried it. Only one bought it was my mama. She the one bought the whole kit for me. I ain't sell nothing. I said, okay, I'm done. Everybody like, that's a nice presentation, but we can't afford that. I'm like, I quit. I don't like selling stuff to people, but if if it makes sense, like if helping somebody, that's different, but when you trying to trick somebody into getting, I don't like that. That's the part that gets me.
Right.
So I never felt like I was a salesman,
Okay.
but this is a little different.
I agree. We'll talk about some of that too.
So we turned it around. So now we only. Now we there only though. Anything else? These things out.
Right.
We there. Even if it's just from 6 to 10. I'll take it. I'll take it. So,
And that was today or yesterday?
yeah, last night, yep.
Are you doing them all online? You did in person?
Yeah, I did 2 in person. The drive's like an hour. I just spent all in my head, so like, and so I can just be downstairs, be home. It just work easier for me that way. Yeah, no. I try to normally do it. Go to sleep about 8:30.
Okay.
So I normally try to do it after work, get a chance to go back review the material, and then be upstairs going to sleep. I can just focus on the test. Yeah, so I don't know. I tried it both ways. I got a better score at home, so let's stick with that.
That's good.
Yeah, let's stick with that.
You got this, you doing tomorrow? All right, y'all, we're gonna get started with the second half. But before we get into that, let me understand the room. I just made you go in the restroom. I know most guys are talking about them, but I do. Let me, and you said it for me when we first came in, Yes, ma'am.
Me? Natalia.
Natalia?
Mhm.
And who invited you out, Natalia? No, okay. Okay. And what's the relation?
This is my girlfriend's daughter. She got another daughter here too. She went out, but I invited her and my granddaughter. I called my daughter, but she couldn't come. But I tried to get everyone that I thought was going to be interested or help, and I done got here into something I'm interested in.
Come on now, talk to me. Talk to me. And then Rayetta. Okay, who invited you out here? Miss Sharon, okay. Miss Sharon, I met you last time I was here, huh? Okay. I was like, she was familiar. Yes. And then Miss Sharon, who invited you out?
Maranatha.
Got it from Sunday? Yeah. And then I'm just trying again. Shanae. No. You help me. Shayana. Okay. And you were invited out for Deborah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheyenne was not shy.
Now, Nate Javon. Asia. Okay. Who invited you out? And Didi. Okay. Got it. I know we met before, but say your name for me again. Shanae, okay. And Shanae Dante? Okay. And who about you? Church. Okay.
Well, a couple people. Yeah, it was a little influence there. I'll be there.
Collaboration, huh?
Yeah, I like to stick my head here and see what's going on.
Okay. I like it, yes. Oh, I mean, I almost missed you. I was sitting there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm Allison.
Allison, her name is Allison. How are you? Who invited you to Allison?
Church.
Okay. I like it.
And she's interested in getting her license.
Okay. Let's talk about that real quick. Let me go ahead and get the website. So there's 2 steps on the licensing part that you'll need. I'll leave right there.
And say what you're writing for the people who are watching.
Yep. So this is the website to get signed up into class. So it's licensecoach.com, all one word. And then once you get in the class, you'll need a coupon code, because if you sign up and go into class without the coupon code, it's gonna look like it's $200. And you say, Mark, told me it was $49. He's lying to me, and he's a preacher. That's not good. So the coupon code, you wanna write this down, okay? Is NAA 4128. And that'll give you the discount, so when you go in to pay at the final part, you'll see it say $49.99. When you sign up for class, you'll see a thing that says if you want to do life only or life and health. When you're starting out, it's the same $49, so you can do both, but it's a lot of information. So normally when people start, I just say get your life license, because that's the start when you sell life insurance and annuities. You can't do Medicare without it, but you can sell life insurance and annuity stuff that we're talking about with just your life license, and that's what we get most of our bread and butter. So I recommend life only, but if you want to do both, you can. Just know it's a little more information, a little more content that you have to retain. Now, when you're going through it, I recommend doing it the fast way. Anybody want to go? Ms. Allison, do you want to make money fast or make money slow?
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. So slow and steady is this way. You ready? Read everything. And it's going to take you about 2 weeks, or maybe 10 days. Anybody want to go fast? Richard. All right, you ready? So at the end of each section, there's quizzes. Take the chapter quiz. It's going to tell you the correct answer. Go back, study the correct answer, and apply to the content. Yeah, see, she knows. She knows. She's been on all night. Come on. My amen crowd right here. My amen crowd. But what it does is it gives you the correct answer, so you go back and find the content, so you're not trying to read everything you don't need. Because a lot of that content, a lot of that stuff is not even on the test. So you just you read everything that doesn't pertain. So, all right. So this part right here, and then here's the other thing too. We gotta, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do it the right way and start. I'm gonna show you how to build the business part. So let's talk about that real quick so you understand it. So for people that are here from Dante, raise your hand. The ones that Dante invited, or you came because Dante texted you, raise your hand. Dalvin, your sister. Okay. So what happens is when you build a business, right, you gotta keep track of your business. So in this example, we're gonna say this is Dante right here, okay? And then if you guys get started, you will be on Dante's team. So remember that team example I gave you? So this will be, we'll just use Dalvin. Is it D-A-L or D-E-L?
D-A-L.
D-E-R-T?
D-I-A. Dalvin.
Dalvin, my bad. D-A-L-V-I-N. Got it.
S-H-A-N-A-E.
Okay. And then you are, what's your name? You're going to name? Candy? Okay. And then spell your name for me.
A-S-J-H-A.
And it's pronounced Asia? Okay. So y'all seeing this so far? So Dante's organization, he's doing this part right here. So Dante gets his license, Dalvin gets licensed, Shanae gets licensed, and Asia gets licensed. So Shanae, you already have a team and a business going. Does that make sense? Dalvin, you have a team and a business going. Does that make sense? And then the people who just came by way of Maranatha, we might as well go ahead and stick them here too.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, right? So this is the business part that I was talking to Dante about. Now, Mr. Delbert, you should be excited too, because you got about 3 people here. You follow what I'm saying? So if we did Delbert's organization looking like this, is it D-E-L-B-E-R-T? D-A-L-B-E-R-T? D-E-L-B-E-R-T? Okay, and then you got your granddaughter, so. Shy. And then spell it for me.
N-A-T-A-L-Y-N.
N-A-T-A-L-Y-A? Natalia, okay. And then who else did you invite? Because you had someone else, right?
I think you left her right here.
What was her name? Tashana? How do I spell Tashana?
T-A-S-H-A-N-N-A.
Okay. You see that? So, beautiful part about this is remember you're building a business. So let me just kind of say, people say, well, Marcus, if I did get started, what are some of the skills that I would need to have in order to be successful? You're sharing. You and brother, right? So say it again for me.
Raya.
Raya.
R-A-Y-E-T-T-A.
A-Y-E-T-T-A? Okay. And then Sharon, S-H-A-R-O-N? And then it was Miss Kim, right?
Allison.
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 I'm sorry. We're going to just put you up here, Miss Allison, since you got it
On my team.
Oh, so she gets it. She gets it. Okay.
She got the content. Hold on.
Devon, too, come on over here.
A-L-L-I-S-O-N.
Yes.
And then you claim Javon too?
Javon over here.
Javon, John? Yes. Okay. Alright, so here's what's happening though. Here's what's happening. Mitch, you good over here?
Man, throw me somewhere.
Alright, so this is how we build a business. So most people say, well, Marcus, I don't even know how you guys work. So when I tell people a couple keys, if you were gonna build a business and make money with us, some things that you wanna get good at, okay? First one is communication skills. And there's a book that I highly recommend reading. It's by John Maxwell. It says that everybody communicates, but few connect. Everybody communicates, but few connect. So you can communicate something and still not connect with somebody. So what we're really trying to do is we're really trying to connect with people to get them to move. So my conversation with Dante, which y'all didn't even know about, was in August when I was here. When I came and ministered in August, I was talking to Dante in Dalvin, and I gravitated toward Dante, and I said, bruh, you're super sharp. We didn't at the time talk to you about what I'm doing. And then what I did is, so communication, but I invited. So if you're saying, Marcus, if I want to, how many of you guys are interested in the passive income part? Like you like that part of building a business, making the $100 and you didn't actually have to sell anybody. You like the passive income part. Okay, so communication skill number one. Skill number two is inviting. Getting good at the invite. Call this mastering the invite. So what you would do is, I have meetings like this. I've actually recorded that presentation that I do now. So you can invite someone to say, hey, my mentor Marcus is coaching me, teaching us how to build a business. I want you to check out this 35-minute presentation, and it's him going through the business model. In that one, I've got my commission statements on there, the whole thing, so people can see the whole kit and caboodle. And so you can invite someone to check out the business. And where people get turned off, I don't want to say the sales, okay, is rejection. Nobody likes getting told no. Anybody like getting told no? Like, I don't like getting told no. But I've been doing sales since I was 17. It's like, Marcus, what's wrong with you? I guess I'm crazy. I like the yes stuff. You follow me? I like helping people, and I like the yes. And so how the conversation went with Dante and I is I talked to Dante, saw something I was interested in when I met him, and I said, hey, are you keeping your options open? He said, yep, tell me more. We had a good conversation on the phone, and I said, are you free to see what I'm doing Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. your time? And I set up a time. So that's what I did. So the invite is critical. So you say the skills, Marcus. So the first one is communication. And then the invite. So here's what happened. I invited Dante. Dante's in class, he's going through it. Dante invited Delbert, Shanae invited Asia, Mitchell, and then we don't have anybody yet, but I'm gonna put his mom there because she's on board. She's got to Dante moving. Right? So how does that help you? So what you would do, Ms. Sharon, is you would invite people to meet me. And I will show the business model for you while you're still going through the process of a class, getting licensed. We have a guy right now, this is his second year in the business, he's gonna make over $250,000, his name is Mike Garrett. Half of that is override income. 2 years, $125,000 passive income, 2 years. He's a network marketer before, but he understands business. And what's crazy about this, I'll tell you while I'm sharing this, Mike was in class. He had a $1,500 commission waiting shot, and they were like, Mike, you can't get it. He's like, why? You gotta get your insurance license. Listen to what I'm saying though, John. He was building his business while he was in class, had money waiting for him because people were selling, and once he got his license, we paid him his money. So you don't have to wait to build your network. And the cool part is you say, well, I don't know nothing about it. You don't have to. You can use my 12 years of experience and say, hey, check out this. If you're interested, let's set up a time to get you more information. And then they look at the video, we follow up with them, and that's how we build a business. Does that make sense? So communication, invite. Now another key, this is what I'm trying to figure out where everybody is. This right here, the follow-up. Okay. If you can communicate, invite, and then follow up with people, you can build a massive business. And when you follow up with them, here's I'm going to just give you an example. Angie, you ready? What would you like best about what you saw tonight?
The process of making more money.
And which part? The sales side, the business side, both of them? What part?
Both.
Okay. And you got started, what part would you want to start with?
Sales.
Okay. And then are you in a situation where you can get signed up for class and pay it there right now? Okay. Would you want to get started tonight or you want to get started tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Y'all see how I did it though? So the follow-up is real simple. The follow-up is, write this down as you're trying to build a business. After you send in the video, what did you like best about what you saw? And this is sales. I know my man Mitch, keep coming back to this because he's not a huge sales guy.
Yeah.
I believe everything in life is sales. The way you walk into a room, your smile, the way you shake someone's hand. Staying married, you gotta sell her every day, I'll tell you. I'm the one. She gotta sell you. I'm the one, you know what I'm saying? So everything is sales. But it's really how you do it, and a lot of times people get a negative connotation on sales because of bad salespeople. But if you're good at what you do and you care about people, sales is a noble profession. Just think about it. The hat you have on, the shoes you bought, even if it was from a website, they sold to you. They got on your Instagram, they got on your Facebook, they marketed to you somehow, and you decided to go get it. That's what sales is. And so the follow-up is, what did you like best about what you saw? They tell you what they like best about it. Where do you see yourself doing it? They say, I see myself selling, or I see myself build a team, and then you close. Do you want to get signed up tonight for the $49, or do you want to do it tomorrow? She said tomorrow. So what we got to do, Dante, get with Asia tomorrow, get her signed up in class. Does that make sense? And then when we track all this, so this is another website that's going to be critical that you guys need, okay? This is, okay, so on here is arc.naaleads.com. And what happens here, there's a thing that says fast track a new recruit. At the bottom of the tab, you'll see a thing that says fast track a new recruit. So that's going to be all your personal information you got to put in there. But what it does is it gives you an agent number. So Delbert, we got to get you set up so you can have an agent number. So then when they fill out, when Shy fills hers out, she puts your agent number in there as the person that recruited her. And that's how we keep track of your organization. Does that make sense? So Sharon, it's going to be important when you draft your team, okay? We got to get you an agent number. So then when Javon puts the number in there about who recruited him, he puts your number in. And then that's how we keep track of the hierarchy. So when you're building your team puts your number in, and that's how everybody starts showing up direct to you in your agency and your hierarchy. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, let me know. Okay, so we got to make sure we track that. So Dante has an agent number. Those who are interested, we got to set up a time to get together and show you how to get an agent number and get signed up for class. So that way you can start going, getting licensed, and being able to do the sales process and being able to help families. Any questions on that so far? Okay. So just so we get some structure here. So Dante has one. So everybody that Dante hired or invited out tonight, you guys are going to want to put Dante's information in, okay? And Dante can give you his number. I can give it to you if you don't know it. And then Asia, you're going to put Shanae's number in when she gets one. Miss Sharon, you're going to put, yeah. That's going to be the tree there, okay? And then for Miss Sharon, Allison, Renetta, and Javon, Rayetta, I'm sorry, Rayetta, are going to put in Miss Sharon's number, okay? And then Delbert, you go right there. Okay? And then same thing, Shy's going to put Delbert's number in, Natalia's, and Tashana's. So we got to make sure we do that. Okay? So the key is to make sure we get your number. So they got to, Delbert and Sharon have to have your number, and then we got to get them numbers in the system. And I can show you how to do that too.
So the way this works, Dante can actually innovate in something all of us.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. And the reason is because Dante and I made the connection first. And we have a thing, I didn't talk about this in our organization, but we have a thing called a generational loyalty override. How many guys like loyalty? Right? Especially if you're married, you love loyalty. I'm only doing 99% of bruh. I'm stressing. So a generational loyalty override, the way this works with Sharon, is called a bonus. So just say you're building your business with Sharon, and because Dante invited you out and made the connection with Dante, you would always be on Dante's team. But remember the example I told you where you can actually pass the person that invited you and make more money than that person? Dante can't stop you from getting promoted. So there's two ways we get promoted. Sales, your personal sales, you can go out and actually you can get your contract all the way up to 120% just on your own personal sales. You got your $70,000 a month, 2 months in a row in production, annuities counting, all that. Once you hit that, you're at 120%. So we can't stop you from getting promoted. On the builder side, same thing. We can't stop you from getting promoted. That's the second way you get promoted, by building a team and building a network. So because Dante has a team going, Dante, in this example, I'm not going to start Dante at 55 just because he has a team. So if I start Dante at 55 and everybody else at 55, he doesn't get the override. That's not fair to Dante, would you agree? So what we do is we start Dante a little bit higher so he can get the spread, and then if you guys have teams, same thing, we start you guys higher so you can get that override and the spread. Now, if Ms. Sharon starts building business and she gets crazy with this thing, okay, we have a thing called regional manager. So regional manager is 55,000 of team volume, okay? So remember I gave that 1,000 as the example. So let's say Ms. Sharon's team is doing $55,000 of production, and that's everybody. So that's Rayetta, Allison, and Javon. Total team group or hierarchy, she goes regional manager to a 95% contract, okay? But because Dante's building the network, let's say he's at regional manager also. So let's say Dante's group is also doing, he's at 95, and his group is doing 55,000. Now, in this example, is there any override? Same contract level, so there's no spread, right? Because they're at the same contract level. But because we have the generational loyalty override, he started Ms. Sharon, he's gonna get an 8% bonus once you're regional manager. And this is 2 months in a row. So you gotta hit it 2 months in a row. So once you hit it 2 months in a row, guess what? Dante will get 8% of the 55,000 bonus. $4,400. That's the bonus. So you want the goal shot is to show people how to hit regional manager or higher. Because that bonus now, because you're regional manager, now everybody's eligible for that bonus. That's like leaving money on the table. You don't, especially in sales, you know how that works. You don't leave the money on the table. Once you hit regional manager, that bonus now puts you into a whole different pool. And the bonus, the way it works, is in this example here, it goes 8% on your first generation. So this is his first generation, Ms. Sharon. And then this is his second generation. So let's say Allison gets rock and roll and she's building a business and she hits regional manager. Dante would then get 5% of Allison. This would be 5% of 55,000, which is $2,750 in one organization. And then if it goes down here, and let's say Miss Allison gets another regional manager, it's 4, 3, 2, 1. It goes down 7 generations. So when you're building a business, is this making sense so far? All right,
That's based off monthly, right?
correct. Monthly, and for us, it's every month, so this is November 1, November 30. It's not like when you start, we're going to go rolling one. November 1, November 30, December 1, December 1st. Great question. So, same pages, this making sense? So now, when you're building your business, now this is, I want you to understand this. So, as you're building, okay, this is people direct to you. I'm gonna lose you on this, because sometimes people start seeing circles and shut down on me. But when you're building a business, okay, when you build your business, right? The people direct to you is profitability. Because when you're hiring people like this, you're gonna have a bigger spread when you first start. But as Ms. Sharon is moving up with Dante, the spread gets smaller, but now it's more stable. Because people will quit a sales job mission, but they won't quit overrides. I'm saying it one more time. You can go get a sales job anyway, right? But if Delbert is making a percentage, or his grandbaby is making a percentage on shot, do you think he's gonna quit the percentage? That's like disability income, that's like retirement. I would not quit a passive income, does that make sense? So when you're building a business with people direct to you, it's profitable. Down here, it's stable. Because that's when people stay, because they have something to stay for. Everybody, is that getting that so far? And then the cool part about the training and the sales part, once we get rocking and rolling, is I'll actually come out here and help with the training and the sales. So you guys, I know Dante just getting started, and I'm like, okay, what do we do, Dante? I'm gonna help Dante, but I'm also gonna be here to help you all, because you guys are just getting started. This is a new business, new agency, so I'll be able to show you how to get the sales training, show you how to do the whole process. So the cool thing is, if you invite people to the next time we do this, I'll be training your people for you just like I'm training Dante's people. Make sense? Okay. So with profitable, now here, stable. Now in the Millionaire Maker Manual, here's what Andy says. He says, when you're starting to build your business, when you start building it, you want to start thinking just like what Delbert did. He invited his grandbaby, he invited some people he knew, but that's the key, is going through your phone, who do you know? And especially my younger generation, Instagram, Facebook, and just, here's the way you do it though, keep it really simple. So when you do the invite, here's how the invite looks. I met a guy named Marcus out of Colorado. We're doing this insurance thing, so key is who you're working with. Let me write this down. I'll see how they are. Who you're working with. Okay, that's number one. Number two, it's life insurance, so people know. Number three, leads. And number four, need help. Those are our key words when it comes to the invite. So let me kind of run through the script with you so you understand, okay? So let's say I'm talking to Mark Mitchell from back in the day. It would go like this. So Mitchell, I'm working with my buddy Andy out of North Carolina. We're doing this insurance thing, and we got these leads, and people are asking for our help with the leads for life insurance, and I was wondering if you keep your options open. Is that simple enough? And what he's gonna say is either yes I am, or no I'm not. If he says no he's not, the timing is not right, we don't take it personally. We just go to the next person. All right, if anything changes, man, just hit me up, shoot me a text. If he says yes, tell me more, great. I got this video I want you to check out. My buddy Marcus, he's gonna kind of walk you through it. He's been doing it 12 years. He's a great guy, wife and 2 kids, makes like 30 grand a month. You should probably check this out. Tell me more. And if he's interested, that's how we get it going. Does that make sense? So really what I'm training you tonight is how to build a business. Because here's what I know, and we talked about this earlier, right, Shai? When you go into standardized school, I'm not gonna put off on it because I do think it's necessary. But what they teach us, Delvin, in school, they teach us what to think, but not how to think. Say that one more time. A lot of times when you go to school, they will teach you what to think, but they don't teach you how to think, like critical thinking skills. When you start building a business and you become an entrepreneur, we want to teach you how to think, what questions to ask, what to look for, what goals do you have. And one of the things I've learned a lot, especially in dealing with people, 90% of people don't know what they want. Like if I just had you right now, dream build, what do you want? Most people, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first started, I just didn't want any more NSFs. Can I be honest with you? I was tired of the red in the bank account. I was tired of not having enough money. I was tired of being on food stamps. And I said, hey, I gotta do something different. But as I stayed in the business and my self-image grew and I was hanging around the right people, I started getting clear on what I wanted. And now what I want to do is make an impact. I want to help people. I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want to be able to take someone that has a similar story like me. Mom died, struggling, trying to figure out how to take care of the family. But they said, you know what, I'm just going to follow what you're asking me to do and make a difference. And so it begins to change. And here's the thing I would challenge you on tonight when you go to bed, before you go to bed. Just write down 10 things you want. Like, what do you want? Like, if money wasn't an object, where you live wasn't an issue, nothing mattered, you had all the money in the world, what do you want? What is it that you want? And one thing I had to do, Shy, because it was hard for me to figure that out, because I had stopped dreaming for so long. I had to figure out what I didn't want. That's the opposite. So if you can't think about, okay, I'm not really sure what I want, what don't you want? I don't know about y'all, but I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to have my kids and my wife on food stamps, because I said I wanted to follow God, live by faith. That sounds good, but faith don't pay the mortgage. Can I get an amen? You got it, they be like, okay, you live by faith all you want to. You're going to come get this house in 90 days. So when I found this, what it really did is it helped me dream. I started thinking about, okay, what do I want? Like, if money wasn't an issue, if where I'm at, the location's not an issue, what do I actually want, and what do I want my life to look like? And even now, I'll still sit down and I just take my journal and say, okay, here's what I want. And right now, I got 4 things I want. Can I share this with you? All right, I call it the 4 freedoms of life. Freedom of time, to do what I want, when I want, how I want. Freedom of money, because it's going to take money to do what I want, when I want, how I want. Freedom of relationships. Let me stay here for a second. Anybody ever been in those relationships where you don't even like people asking how they're doing today? Because they pee all over you, they tell you how terrible it is, the economy's going, life is miserable, Biden's still in the office, and it's like, oh, bro, I don't want all that. I was just trying to have a casual conversation. Or every time you come into the room, they suck the life out of the room. At this stage in my life, I don't want those relationships. I don't want to be in those circles anymore. I don't want to be around some of the people I used to run with back in the day, because it's just not healthy for who I'm becoming and where I want to be. So freedom of relationships. I get to choose who I want to talk to and when I want to talk to you. And here's what I do now. And y'all can judge me if you want to. But when the phone rings, Mitchell, if it has to do with business and it's making us money, I hit the green button. If it's one of those people that suck the life out of the room, I hit the red button. Or I'll text them and say, can I call you later? What's up? So that way I can filter it, Asia. And if it's some drama that I don't want to talk about, I don't call them. I don't text them. Because time is limited. The psalmist said, help me number my days. So if my time is limited, I can't waste time with people who aren't going where I would like to be. So what we have to really figure out is, where is it that we want to be, and who can help us get there. And then the last one, and 4th one, freedom of purpose. I want to be living in my purpose. Because when you live in your purpose, that's when you have the most fulfillment in life. And purpose, a simple definition, is the reason something was created or designed. And ultimately, I think you can find a person's purpose in Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 28. It's right there. Let us make man in our own image, after our own likeness. Let them have dominion. And then he says what? Be fruitful, fill the earth, multiply, subdue, have dominion. I believe that God created his children in every area of their life to have dominion, to subdue in every area. That's why we can go into Amazons of the world. We can go into any arena, and we can dominate in any arena because we're doing it for the purpose of the King. And I think that's what God wants us to do, is he wants us to be fruitful. And if you're in a situation where you're not bearing fruit, it's the wrong situation. What changes do we have to make? But again, freedom isn't free because it costs something. Like right now, I'm out here because I had a purpose. The purpose is to help and to serve. And then on top of that, what I want to do, the sacrifice, I could be at home with my wife and kids. In my own bed. You follow me? That's not fun. Like, I like doing this. My wife's like, you like doing this, huh? I'm like, oh, kind of. But I just feel like we were created to work. We were designed to work. And the Bible says that God blesses the works of our hands. But if your hands aren't working anything, he has nothing to be blessed. And so when I was going through this, building a business, doing the entrepreneur thing, the question I always ask myself, is this going to give me the best return on time? Because time is the only finite thing we have. I can go out and make my money. right? But I can't make more time. It's the one thing I have that I can't get back. So once I invested here, hopefully it's well invested, right? Hopefully we have some people who are hearing what we're saying, can take the information and then duplicate the information. Hopefully the goal tonight is to inspire you guys to say, you know what, I like what Mark down here doing, I'm on board. Let's invite people, let's get licensed, because we also want to be free. Because I promise you we can get free. But here's what I do know. Most people who shop quit because they don't want to go through the process of becoming great. I was just like taking that test. But here, life is a process. Everything in life is a process. And everybody, like, you know, we can read the Bible and we see it, but I think of two stories specifically. The story of Joseph, right? He has two dreams. He comes and tells his family his dream. He's excited about it. He's 17-year-old. That's what their story says. He's about 17. Tells his dreams. And then his brothers are like, hey, no, let's get rid of this dreamer. And then they put him in a pit. And then he goes to the pit. He's doing things and everything. This is what I love about the book, I'm telling you. It says when he was in the pit, God was with him. Even though he was lied on and in prison, it says that God was with him. And God made him rule over things. And then Pharaoh gets him out, brings him, and they say from 17 years old he had the dream that he was going to rule, right? He understood he had a purpose. But it says he didn't actually walk into that until he was about 30 years old. So from 17 to 30, that's 13 years of going through crap that he was unjustly accused of. Most people will wait for 13 years to become second in command because we're an instant society. And if I can't have it now, I'm going to go do something else. And so they keep pulling up their roots, they keep pulling up their roots, they keep pulling up their roots. And if you keep pulling up your roots, it doesn't have time to grow. And so when I got here, I was like, this is it. The Holy Ghost spoke to me and said, this is that. This is what you're looking for. So I said, I ain't doing nothing else. I'm not doing no more lotions and potions. This is it. Because I'm helping people and I understand we have a purpose. And then the other one that I think of is David, right? When they found David, y'all know the story, he was a shepherd. He was out in the field. And he had brothers that were handsome. Samuel was coming to look for him. And they said, Samuel said, no, this ain't the one. This ain't the one. And I love what it says when it says that God, man sees the outward person, but God sees the inward. He sees the heart. And then his dad said, yeah, we got another one. He said, go get him. He comes in, Samuel anoints him, says, this is the Lord's anointed. So he was anointed king, even though he was a shepherd. He didn't become king, same thing. For years, he had to go through Saul trying to kill him. He had to go through people lying on him. He was on the run. And y'all know some of the story of David. But just think about that. He was anointed king, but he didn't walk into his kingship until he had to go through a process. Everything that God does is a process. And I'm encouraging you, when you take on this entrepreneurial journey, it's a process. I didn't get here overnight, right? It's a process. Most people get frustrated in the process. This is another reason why I encourage you to come to the big meetings, because when you come to the big meetings, God will see the big picture. It's like, oh, got it. Okay, it's not just markets making money, or it's not just, it's a lot of people, like-minded people who are actually in this together, we're in a fight together, and they're doing good things. And that's why I highly encourage you, because I tell people all the time, like, if I didn't go meet Andy that first time in Dallas when I had just sold 2 policies, hadn't even just paid yet. But if I didn't go meet him, I probably would have quit a long time ago. And one of the things that kept me in when I first started, I remember, so y'all see him quick, right? But he says this about himself, so I'm saying, okay, say it. He's country redneck white boy, okay? But so down to earth, so loving. And so I'm in this room, Asian, like 300 people, and he's like, he tells me, he says, if you come down here, his first thing when he called me, he said, you know that scripture talks about getting wisdom and knowledge? I said, yeah. He says, that's where you work in this business. I want you to come meet me. Now, mind you, I had only been in 2 weeks. I hadn't even got a paycheck yet. And so I'm like, okay, well, when is it? And he says, Friday. And he called me, Rayetta, right? He called me on Wednesday. And so I'm thinking like a few Fridays from now, we can get I see your facial expressions. I love it. Yes, same thing. So he's like, I want you to come down here and meet me on Wednesday. I mean, on Friday. And I said, and you talking about this Friday? He said, yeah. And then he said, I said, well, where is it? He said, Texas. No, he said, Dallas. I said, are you talking about Texas, Andy? Look at your facial expressions. He said, yeah, Dallas, Texas. And then he asked me a question. He said, you got any money? I said, nope. I'm paying my mortgage with a credit card. He said, okay, I'll make you a deal. I said, okay, what's the deal? He said, if you can get down here, I'll cover the conference ticket, I'll cover the food, I'll even cover the place for you to stay, but you gotta get down here. I said, okay, good deal. But I'm married, and I wanna stay married. So we gotta go talk to the missus, make sure everything's copacetic. So I said, let me talk to Carla, and if Carla's good, I'll make it happen. He says, okay. So I go home, Shy, I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, babe, Andy just called. She said, who's that? I said, it's the president of the company. She's like, okay. He wants to meet me. She said, okay, well, where's he gonna be at? I said, here's the thing. This is me going to sales mode. Remember, this is the thing I'm selling, okay? I said, here's the thing. It's in Dallas. She looked, she said, are you talking about Texas, Marcus? I said, yeah. She rolled her eyes. Sometimes we've done a bunch of these programs, right? So she's like, oh God, here he goes again. And then she says, well, when is it? I said, here's the other thing. It's on Friday. She looked, she said, you talking about this Friday? I said, yeah, Shy. She rolled her eyes and just went to bed. I didn't get no kiss, I didn't get no hug, no good night, nothing, Dante. And so I'm like, clearly we're not going to Dallas. So she wakes up the next morning, here's how small the thread is, here's how the Lord works. And she says, Marcus, something is telling me that you need to go. I said, for real? She said, yeah. I said, no, for real. This ain't one of these tests. Because I know y'all ladies don't do this. But sometimes, Shy, my wife, she'll tell me to do something, and I should know better. Like, don't be dumb enough to do this. And then I do it, and I'm in trouble for doing it. So I'm like, so babe, this ain't one of these, right? Like, I can get the ticket, I can come home, sleep in the bed, I'm not gonna be on the couch for a week, like, we're good, right? She's like, no, and here's what she told me. She said, if we want something different, we have to do something different. I said, okay. So I get down there. Now, anybody ever done something when you commit to it, and then after you commit, you're like, oh God, what I do? You start having fears, silent voices in your head. And one of the books that I read said this, if y'all catch this, I think it'll bless you. It said you have to learn how to talk to yourself and not listen to yourself. 85% of the thoughts that go through our head are negative. So, pulling you down. But learning how to talk to yourself is critical. You know, David said, I've learned to encourage myself. So I'm flying out there, Mitchell, and the first thing that hit me, I only talked to Andy once for like 10 minutes. He was like shooting pheasants or something, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a whole deep conversation. And I only talked to this Robbie guy like twice. So I don't really know these people, and I hadn't even got paid. And so I started freaking out, Dante. I'm like, this could be one of these like 60 minutes. Black kid gets the text, they don't find it no more. First 48, like, I'm going through all this in my head, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And so I get there, and I told my wife, I said, babe, I'm gonna go out in like 2 hours. I'm supposed to be at the Hilton. This is the address, right? And when I got there, I saw people who were in my same situation, struggling to pay the bills, trying to make both ends meet, but they had followed the system. And they were doing what Andy said, they were following 8 steps. And there was one guy who got up, he was missing a tooth, and my man was making like $100 grand. Right, you can't judge a book by its cover, but have you ever been like, if he can do it, if he can do it, he was the hope. So let me be your hope, Javon, okay? If I can do it, here from Aurora on food stamps, you follow me? Anybody can do it. And then Andy says, Mark, he's like, where's that Marcus kid at? And I was in the back of the room. I said, I'm right here. He says, come here. So we go up on stage, and he gives me a big old hug. First time he picks me up off my feet, and then whispers in my ear, he says, stick with me, Bo. I'm going to teach you how to make a bunch of money. And he has been true to his word. And then Sunday, I sit down to meet and have breakfast with him. I was 5 minutes late. He's reading a book called Fierce Conversations. It's another good one. I'm giving all kinds of books tonight. Fierce Conversations is a really good book. He's reading this book. I'm 5 minutes late, multi-millionaire. I've never had conversations with someone like him before, okay? So I had a list of questions. When I get there, Mitchell, he's reading this book. He looks up at me, looks down at the book, looks up at me. He says, I'm sitting here wondering why I'm even having this breakfast with you when you have the audacity to waste my time. This is the first conversation with him, like intimate conversation. And I said, I'm so sorry. He said, I know. He said, because if this ever happens again, we won't do another one of these. He said, I don't have time for broke people to waste my time. I said, all right. So we sit down. We're having a conversation. Now, in my list of questions, because mind you, the place I came from was kind of shady. Like, they didn't really have ethics. They didn't believe God like I did. And so in my list of questions, I stuck the question in there that was really important. It was the 7th question. And I told you the story about today? Okay. So he says, do you mind if I look at the questions before we get started? I said, I don't mind at all. And he says, okay, can I answer these in the order that I would like to? I said, yeah. He looks at it eventually. He goes straight to question number 7, which was, who do you say Jesus is? This is me, that's what wrote me scrub. He looks up at me, he looks down again at me, he says, I believe he's the Son of God. He looks, does this, he says, are we good? I said, yeah, we're good. And that's been our relationship. Not, like I said, he's not perfect, but he's a great guy. And he's been mentoring me for 12 years, but that's really the thing that brought me into the business, because I know that it's something that can be life-changing for people all across the country, all across the globe. And that was, when I first met him, just like falling in love with the culture of the company. Like, I think that's what keeps you coming back from there now, the culture. You know people, you know Grammy, you know people care about you, love you, and that's how it is with the Alliance. We genuinely love people and we want to help people. And so that's why I highly encourage coming to Dallas, because you get to see it on a bigger scale, on a bigger scheme. And it's worth, I remember I did a Tony Robbins event. Anybody ever know those? The Tony Robbins thing, Walk on Fire? Now, the ticket was $3 grand. Yeah. And we walked on fire. It was pretty cool. But the Tony Robbins event has nothing on what we do. Our event is better than what I went to for $3,000. And let's say the ticket is $350. It's worth every penny of it. Because it's going to be specific to what we do for insurance, but it's going to help you grow your self-image. You're going to see some people that's like, oh, wait a minute. You're going to see people like me, inspiring you, giving you hope. But I highly highlight, if you want to change your situation, it costs to change your situation. It's a sacrifice. It's worth it though. It's way worth it. All right. So we talked about the business, building it, how to build it. What questions do you have? Because I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking. Questions? I'm talking to y'all? Y'all?
Well, most of you already got it. So what does it take now to, okay, what you want to do, what do we do now? What's next? How do we get it?
Next thing is we got to get you your agent number so you can get that part situated, so we can start getting your group situated and get you signed up for class. That's next. And then we have conference calls on Fridays. I want to get you on those so you can start listening. We have it on Wednesdays and we have it on Tuesdays. So I want to get you guys on those conference calls. We had one last month that was fire. Get you, yeah, it was really good. Get you on those so you can start getting a feel for our culture. So it's not just me representing, but you can start seeing it. So jump on the conference calls, get you an agent number, get you the class so we can start building your business, and then get you plugged away. That's what's next. Yes, ma'am. Yep, so the conference calls, let me give it to you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Monday is 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday is 12:30 Eastern. And those are also playbacks on YouTube too if you're working on the day. And then Friday is 10 a.m. Eastern. And I can get those links to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, do you have a website they can go to?
Yes. And
What's-
then 2 websites. So RichGroup Financial, that's my website.
Can you write it down on the
Yes.
board?
Couldn't get all in there. RichGroupFinancial.com. And we got it in there where you can get started and do, like, we're putting our training videos and everything in there.
And what number can they use to get a hold of you? Okay.
Yeah, for sure. That's my number right there, 720-620-5006. Lock it in and save it. And then on this, let me just make sure I got everybody in here. So I know we had some people leave early, but Red, I still see Red, Miss Sharon, Miss Halia, Javon, Delvin, Shanae, Mitchell, Dante, Delbert. Is this the one that left, Shanae? It looks like it. I see Tashana, I see you right here. Oh, Cheyenne, that's huge. Hold on, right? Yes. You got Shy right here. You wanna know where my pen is? You wanna know something? This is Shy. Okay. And then Tashawn, Allison. Miss Allison, and then Asia. Okay. So everybody is still here that is on this list, right? Except for Tashawn, okay.
Marcus,
Yes, sir.
do the leads that you make available to us, how do we get those and can we use those leads anywhere in the country?
You can use them anywhere in the country, and it's really, I wish next time, Dad, we gotta get something where I can do a computer and we can use the screen.
Yeah,
Because it's our system where you can go in and it shows you leads all across the country. So Michigan, I'm licensed out here, so we start running a business out here, we'll do some training. Florida, Texas, Colorado, you go in. And then when you go to the map builder, it'll show you. So if you have a final expense lead, it'll show you, hey, final expense lead, this is how many we have in this county. Cook County, whatever, what county is this, y'all? Calhoun County, it'll show you the leads, and it'll show you all the leads in the county. It'll show you some for $40 a lead, $8 a lead, $5 a lead, $2 a lead. The price of the lead just determines how long you had it. It doesn't mean it's a bad lead, it just means someone has not sold that policy yet to that client, and they need help, so that's why it's still in there for $8, $4. 40 is, of course, the newest ones, and then it goes to $8, $5, $2, and stuff like that. So, yes.
So what does that mean, the price of it? Is that something we pay for this lead or what?
Correct, so the leads are paid for, because like I said, it's the hardest part to do, but it's marketing. So when you understand your numbers though, that's where it gets really good. So what we say, here's what we say. For every $100 you spend on leads, you should write $1,000 of premium. So in this example, let me give it to you like this. So if I spend $100 in leads, and it could be a mix of it, not just, right? You should write $1,000 of annual premium, which means you're gonna bring home $500 of commission. So you subtract $100, you have a net of $400. Does that make sense? Now, if I came to, some people say, well, I don't want to do that. Let me put it in business perspective. Agent, if I came to you and said, you give me $100 this week, and I promise you by next week I'll give you $400 back, would you do it? Now, the part that most people miss, Dante, is but there's no guarantee I'm gonna get $400. Are you gonna work? That's the word. You follow instructions. We can make it happen, right? But it is no guarantee because it's sales. But if you work the system and you listen, it'll happen. And so then where it starts getting crazy, here's where it starts getting crazy. So like, this is why I love this business. So let's say you do $200, okay? And then, let me get a new sheet. This is business marketing 101. This is industry. So now you're at 200. Okay? This is your, let's call it your cost of goods. Okay? And then this is your premium. So now your premium is $2,000, right? So what's your commission? If we're just following that structure of the 50%. Right? What's your net? You see this? Let's keep going. I want to show you something. I just want to show it to you. Next, say you put in 300 a week. Your premium is what? Okay. Your commission is what? You have. Okay. Now you subtract the 300. What's your ROI? Just make sure we get it. What's your premium? What's your commission? What's your net? And then one more just for good measure, make sure we did that. So if you do 500 a week, your commission is what?
$5,000.
Yep. Your commission is what?
25.
house, your net is what? Put you at $100,000 income run rate. Does that make sense? This is why I get excited about this business, because it's numbers. If you put in the numbers and you put it in work, this is what comes at the end of it. So let's back up. You would do that at $100, Asia. If you gave me $500, and at the end of the week I said I'll give you $2,000, would you still do it? Right, Dad.
So if I had family in Grand Rapids, and I live here in Battle Creek, and I wanted to go over and tell my family and help them, could I buy leads in Grand Rapids and work those leads as an agent as well and make money?
And you can help your family, yes.
What if I had family in Atlanta? Could I do the same thing?
You can. So you can, in Atlanta, you can get what they call a non-resident license. So once you pass your license in Michigan, it's a reciprocal license. So you can do it in Atlanta, you can do it in Florida, you just gotta pay a fee at that point, so you don't have to test again. You just gotta test in your home state. And then once you get that, you can get it in Georgia. And you can go to Georgia and sell, or we had it set up to where, because COVID hit, so we had to pivot when that happened. You can also do it virtually and sell it over the phone. If they're in Georgia, you can do it electronically and stuff like that. So it's not limited to just where you are. You can do it all across the country. Like I did one before I left the house, before I left the airport in Ohio. It's a client of mine. I have my Ohio license. She wanted to get a policy for her dad. She did the policy for her dad, $190 a month. In Ohio, I didn't go to Ohio because I'm here in Michigan with y'all, right? I was in Colorado. But she called in, she did a policy for her dad, we helped her. And that's where there's no, really, when you look at this business, y'all, there's no limits. The only limits we have are the ones we set ourselves. So that's how the business part works. And again, I would recommend inching up to this. I wouldn't just start in the deep end. But what I tell people all the time, like when you're first starting, is I want you to get your license, focus on that. And then, remember I said earlier, the people that you know, you want to sell people you know, and then that money you didn't have anyway. So let's say you make $1,000 check. Don't take the whole $1,000 to go get a new Louis purse. No offense. If you like a watch, let's say there's the shoes, you want to get the J's, right? Set that money aside as that's your seed money. And then you take that seed money and you say, okay, I'm gonna do the 200 a week. I'm gonna get after it and I'm gonna watch this work for me. And now I take that 200 every single week, proof of concept. I know it's working. I'm gonna keep putting that 200 in. And then once I have data and I know my numbers, I'm gonna take the 200, now 300. And then I'm gonna take the 400. Oh, and by the way, when you're doing this, we're gonna teach you how to find some of those annuities. See, you like those, I can tell. And then that's when it gets real crazy. So like you can buy a lead, and if you maximize the lead, you can make thousands of dollars off of one lead. So life policy, you help them with their annuities, you get referrals, but they know and they send you to other people. But like that one I was telling you earlier that did the IUL and the annuity, that's gonna be like a $13,000 commission on one lead. $13,000 on one lead. That's what we have our hands on. I'm done.
Can you get paid on, once you're licensed and you have your own annuity, can you get paid on your own?
You can. Yep, you can get paid on your own annuity and your own policy. I will say this, when you write your policy on yourself, because it's what they call control business, they pay you, but they pay you as earned. So you wouldn't get that advance that I just explained, the 500. They will break it up for you in chunks as you pay it through the year. So really, your first year of buying a policy, you get a half off. That's the best way to explain it. Because let's say your policy is $30 a month, you're gonna pay 30, they're gonna pay you 15. And they do that for the year. Because that's just on what they call control business. So control business is your personal policy, like wife, kids, that kind of stuff. They don't pay you advance on that one. They just pay you as it gets paid. But you do get paid. They just don't give you 500 up front. All right. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you're talking about, you just did life insurance in Ohio for someone for their dad. So what does your basic life insurance policy start off at? I mean, what's your minimum? Is it 10, 15, 20? Are they term or are they whole life? Or can you do either?
Either on that question, but it really depends on their age and health. So life insurance is based on age and is based on health, which is why when I'm talking to people, especially young folks, I say, because most young people don't want to get it because they say I'm healthy. now you should be. Because you're never gonna be, you know, the older you get, the less your health is, like your health goes down. So for us, Miss Allison, it's gonna be based on your age and health, and then it just depends on what they're looking for. So in that scenario, she was looking for a burial policy, her dad has some health issues, so 10, 15,000, something basic. Those are usually our whole life policies. And then we also have our term policies. So it just depends on what they're looking for. We can sell either one. And then it just gives us a quote or rates based on their age, medications, stuff like that. Yep. All right, so here's what we gotta do. Those who are interested, I gotta get you some agent numbers, and then we can do the class stuff tomorrow. You guys good with that? Yes? No? All right. Let's go to the office real quick. You know, I'll pull up Dante's number, and then I'll get you guys at least some agent numbers, and then we'll schedule like a follow-up so I can help you guys get set up with the classes. Is that cool? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right. And then I gotta bring this board so we can keep track of who's who.
Take a picture of it. Marcus, take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's right.
Actually, is there Wi-Fi in here? Is there Wi-Fi in here?
Yeah.
I can just do it on my tablet. We can do it on my tablet.
Yeah, I don't know what the code is. Anybody got the code for Grand Rapids? Here, just use my computers. Mitchell.
Sign on as a guest.
Or not.
Give it to him. He's going to do it on his notebook. No, he's not going to be here Sunday.
No, but you got his phone number.
I got his phone number, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And you got his, website.
So you are giving out.
Richardson Financial.